Teacher. The answer was simple, one word that seemed to fit so perfectly in a space so clean and so white I thought I was seeing angels. That asked me where I was headed, and before I even said anything, I saw the eraser marks like shards of broken dreams. And at 4, I couldn't believe that our homework was to plan our future. Asked me where I was going before I'd even seen the world, and he just laughed. A sinister laugh because he handed the word no to me with such conviction and such ferocity that I believed it. And in its place he put the word doctor. And it just didn't seem to fit, so I bartered with him. What about lawyer or policeman, firefighter even, but none of them seemed to please him. I swallowed the harsh truth, acrid on my throat, closed my eyes to avoid the real world that had been splattered with all these lies. Teacher, teach me to teach him the things that I see. They say that you have to listen to adults because they have all the answers. But that's what I believed at the time when my mind, fresh like Play-Doh, had not been molded into the person that I wanted to be. But I was still 4 and I probably didn't know any better. But I knew the answer in my mind like I knew the answer in my heart, saw the beginning like I saw the end, and doctor was not where I wanted to be. The word didn't roll off the tip of my tongue like it was supposed to, and for years I went searching for things I never knew about myself. Prisoner, it seemed, the gleam of stethoscopes and the prestige was all that he could see. But as for me, the key was finding something other than doctor. And no matter how many times I try to say it, it only seems like a curse word. Can't go to the doctor's office anymore because I know they'll keep me waiting for years that I've already wasted. I remember asking questions like, digging a little deeper was looking for my only salvation. But really, I was digging my own grave. And for years, I had no name, I had no face, I had his. Living his broken dreams through me, and like dominoes, I fell victim to his constant reminders about going big or giving up. And all he could see was doctor, as though it had been branded across my back, like perfection was a life lesson that he couldn't understand. It took me until grade 9 to realize that maybe it was time to make my own decisions.
Yeah.
And although I'm far from 4, for years these words have separated him and I. But sometimes the question represents itself, like an autumn's breeze. The question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I know, I don't have all the answers, but this time I made sure that I wrote it in pen, so that he wouldn't erase it, so that he wouldn't mistake the fact that all I had to do was be me. Thank you. I'm 17 years old, and the older I get, the faster my life seems to pass before me. When becoming an adult seems like the end of the world as I know it, I want to be a child again. These are the things that I'll miss when I grow up. The streets we used to play on, hard concrete with scribbled sidewalk chalk like Andy Warhol paintings that washed away with our tears when the hard times came around. Riding bicycles and learning how to fly, relinquishing my training wheels because they're holding me to the ground. But my handlebars be out of control and tell me that perhaps I wasn't ready for the real world. The blood that dripped from open wounds that never seemed to heal. Battle scars that we wore like medals of honor. We didn't need band-aids. We sucked it up. They left marks on our scraped hands, knees, and hearts, cracked helmets like broken families, but I kept on pushing that pedal. Down, 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 and the cycle continued. Kissing concrete like it was our secret lover. Just like that girl down the street, like the first time you laid eyes on her, for all those paper-thin promises, for all the twisted lies and the times we said we'd grow old together. But those memories that seemed like yesterday disappeared into oblivion. I remember the nights we spent on rooftops staring at the stars, wishing that somewhere out there you'd find yourself. I remember all the tears we cried, tears of joy knowing that summer was just the beginning of all things to come, when Monday was just another day in the weekend of pain. Never getting to watch Saturday morning cartoons because I was always at Saturday morning martial arts. Trying to please parents and realizing I couldn't meet their fruitful demands. Times change like people, and when friends leave without saying goodbye, I wish that life had storybook endings. It's the deafening silence, followed by the desperation of ringing doorbells sharp and piercing, only to realize that they don't live there anymore. This is for yellow pages and trying to find the things we lost. I'm not looking for band-aid solutions. This is for the fallen seed you planted in the garden one day and realizing that it become a tree. You wanted the feeling of a gentle hand beside you, and you pleaded to imaginary friends who would pack their bags because they knew you were a child no longer. While you wanted to stay like this forever, you gave them your broken dreams. Watched as the gates to your hearts closed, locked up the child inside you and threw away the key. Like a stone-cold locket that I keep at the bottom of my pocket to remind me of what life used to be. I miss those days, I miss those days, I miss those days. I'm 17 years old, and the older I get, the younger I want to become. When becoming an adult seems like the end of the world as I know it, I want to be a child again. Thank you.